Thank you. I'm Mike Manville. I'm a president of Ithaca and a assistant professor of city and regional planning at Cornell. I have studied parking policy and minimum parking requirements in particular for almost 10 years, and I fully support any effort by the city of Ithaca to abolish them. I think that minimum parking requirements are probably the greatest and longest standing mistake in American zoning. They are a way to subsidize driving at the expense of new development. Minimum parking requirements have been extensively studied. They are consistently associated with lower population densities, lower housing densities, higher vehicle ownership, and in most cases more congestion. They make it very difficult to redevelop dense areas. They are harmful to downtowns. And they essentially increase the cost of housing while reducing the price of driving, which is essentially the opposite of what most local governments would like to do. I understand that minimum parking requirements are intuitive in many ways, and they have been put in place to solve a real problem, that problem being the spillover effects of development on city streets. The efficient and productive way to solve that problem is to price or otherwise restrict through permitting the city streets themselves. Forcing new developers to provide parking spaces to prevent spillover is a very inefficient and destructive way to solve that problem. It is essentially saying that you are going to manage the flow of traffic on public roads by putting a regulation on the stock of new buildings on private land. It is not likely to work. It will drive up the cost of housing. It essentially makes it illegal to build housing for people who can't afford or don't want to drive, and so it is detrimental to affordability. And finally, if you say that you're going to manage spillover by using parking requirements, what you are essentially saying is that you are going to tax future housing residents or future housing consumers for the benefit of existing drivers. And I understand why that's politically very useful, but for the purposes of sort of environmental policy, revitalizing the downtown and encouraging more density where we want it, it's a big obstacle. So I'll just summarize by saying I do hope that Ithaca does move forward with this. It would be a very progressive policy in terms of affordability and environmental sustainability, and parking requirements are a very harmful form of law that's in the zoning code. Thank you.